Joe Robina of American Cane Self-Defense for Cane Masters, and today we're addressing the question of, does it really matter for self-protection whether I'm using a cane that just has a derby style handle like a pistol grip, or it just has a knob more like a shillelagh? Does that matter for self-defense versus something like this that has what the layperson refers to as a J handle? So let's dive right into that. This J handle, technically we refer to it as the horn and the crook. An easy way that we remember this in American Cane Self-Defense in your training is you hit with the horn and you quote unquote hook with the crook, but I'm going to quantify that. The quick answer to it is that no, the majority of your self-protection applications and your strategies, you're fine, because most of the time the portion of the anatomy of the cane that you're going to be using is the shaft and possibly the tip. It's a tool that creates distance. That's one of the main advantages. You can maintain distance, and then it's an impact tool. It seeks bone. So just imagine we don't have this portion and I'm just here. Well, when somebody's coming in, I get to back off, right? You're going into power shot mode, or anything that comes in here, bam, you take out the limb, you win. If you were using the tip, so something that looks maybe like this and you're removing it to get to the midline, that works just fine. You're doing movements where it gives you the reach advantage, allows you to take a look out here, deal with somebody out here, right? I'm not using the horn and crook for this. And when anything advances, I get to take out those shins. Take out the shin, take out the limb, you win. Right? So this isn't coming into play here. She moves it, I get to move to one side. I'm still able to strike here. I'll point this out because neither ACSD nor Cane Masters, we never tell you, notice that it's never this here, and then go ahead and whack to the head. We're always, what we prefer to do is, whenever possible, destroy the attack instead of the attacker. Right? So you live in a society that's governed by laws, and the training is mindful of that. So the quick and short answer is that the majority of your self-defense applications are not applied with the horn and crook. That said, right, because there's always a second part to this, there are three main areas in which we use this horn and crook in ACSD. And everybody says, well, I love it, and when I order my cane from Cane Masters, I want that crook to be as wide as possible because I want that crook to fit around an opponent's neck. And the answer to that is no, you don't, not if you want it for self-protection. The only time that you want this crook to fit comfortably around anybody's neck is when you're training with someone that you don't want to injure. So if you're an instructor, and back in the day we referred to it as an instructor's crook, maybe you tell Cane Masters and you say, you know what, I'm working with others, I'm training with others, I don't want to snag them, I don't want to rake, I don't want to rip, I don't want to tear into them. Does that make sense, right? Because they're not going to want to come back and play with you. So for that purpose, I want something that when I put it around here comes all the way out. That's the reason that you would want that. The other thing is that the use of this crook, it's not like you're playing horseshoe, and if you follow me, you may have heard this before. I'm not trying to fit that perfectly around the neck or around a limb. The way you would use this, for instance, if I have this cane here, and maybe she throws a shot and I knock it down here, I'm looking to connect first. See how that connects with the clavicle first? See, just the pressure alone creates a response. I choke up here. This comes around and quote unquote bites or snags, and then from here I can start doing that. See what it does? And I can come in from here and move on. So what you're going to do is you're going to deflect, you're going to connect and control. That would be the formula with the crook. As far as the horn, is concerned, well, gosh, you really get to use these like if it was a set of brass knuckles, right? When you look at this, somebody comes in, maybe it's just a push. Look at that, right? So she gets right through. So I'm gonna have to step here and maybe come in, right? Turn that face, maybe control from here, right? If I can do something like that. So this is gonna come in handy for self-protection, close quarters, and you're caught in a headlock. You're caught in a headlock. Look at this, right? And so now going from here, if I have this cane, I can come in here, go to the eyes, help break through here, right? Rip through, and it allows me here. Same thing, I have it in the other hand and I got caught here. Look at this. That's gonna help. Now I can do a groin pull from here. So up close, anything where now you have at the end of the horn, you have, I refer to it as the nose, right? Just to be specific about here. And Cane Masters does beautiful work here, right? So, oh, it looks so neat. It looks so nice. But look at my quick release response here, right? And it's the way I position it. Keep in mind that this individual's jacked up on adrenaline. So a lot of this stuff doesn't, but remember, if you stick to the principle of, wood on bone hurts, you come in here, this can help rake, rip, basically collect DNA for you. Okay, that's what it can do. So it does make a difference in creating a quick release response over just something that's sitting there, a knob, or something that's softer, like a derby style. The second reason, and it's an overlooked one, and it's an important one in ACSD training, and that is for something we refer to as kinesthetic training. And that is the entire anatomy of this cane is gonna come into play as your training ally. So let me show you how you might use this in your handling. So beyond figure eights with a shaft, if you're doing something that looks like this and then coming back here and handling from here and then moving on, why do you do that? Well, in ACSD, we want the kinesthetic advantage of not being so familiarized with this tool. Think of a basketball player that does dribbling drills, right? So that in a game, it's not that he's going to do all those drills, is that he wants to increase his familiarity and his quote unquote, what do they refer to it as? Handles. Well, it's the same thing. In ACSD, all the way up to doing double canes, doing them offset at the master's level where one cane is going at one speed, the other one's going at another, two different skill sets. It's a form of brain training. And the third reason tied into it is because when you're doing these kinds of rotations in ACSD, the cane teaches the empty hand. It's both a caned training system and it's also empty hand. So, and I'm not going to go into it deep here, but the rotation and the pattern of the cane teaches you how you'd be moving with the empty hand. That's an advantage that you're going to have with a cane that has a horn and crook that you don't get with anything else, because with everything else, you are relegated to just handling from here. So those handling drills, if this is leaning up against a wall and I have an assailant that's coming, I can't afford to look that cane into my hand because, right, I have to be able to come from here and bang, bang. See, it's simple, but if you haven't done that, here it comes, and now you drop the cane because you're not used to, you're used to just, right, or coming in here and you get jammed, or it's in a reverse. You don't know how to handle this thing off of a reverse, right? And you don't have the skill set. So, oh, bang, there's that first, strike. Now get this person off of me. See, I'm used to doing that because I train with this cane at a different level altogether. I know how to put it in a flow, and whatever I do to one side, I do it to another. That's just part of that kinesthetic training. You can't train up here. See, the cane is not in my hand. It's up in the forearm, and I'm doing my figure eights from here nice and tight, and then I bring it right back in. That is dominion over the tool. So to summarize, can you be effective with a cane that doesn't have a horn or a crook? Yes, you can. provided that you have the training, right? You can keep people at bay. It's going to give you an advantage to have this, especially if it's cane master. Look at this. Let me point something out. I want the camera to focus in on this right in between here. See, it's like the brow. It's so deceptive, but that creates another striking edge when you do that. So it's very much by design that you do that. So it can give you, if you know what you're doing, it can give you that advantage when you're in close. It can give you an advantage, but also for your training kinesthetically. And not only that, in ACSD, which is beyond the scope of this video, all those movements and the spins that you're seeing show you how to move when you don't have the cane and you just have your empty hand.